Today's webinar is basically on the TAPA. TAPA is your Transport Asset Protection Association. And there are different verticals are there in the TAPA like FSR, Facility Security Requirement, TSR, Trucking Security Requirement, PSR, Parking Security Requirement. But today's we are more focused on the FSR area, which is related to Facility Security Requirement, or you can say the warehousing related security requirement. Right. For before going to the FSR requirement, the thing I just want to discuss is every standard which come in the existence, there is some logic behind that. If I just take example of basic QMS standard, which is 9001, this come in the picture because as a globally we all want to be in the same platform as a system. Now, why this TAPA FSR is come in the picture? There is a logic behind that. If I say what is the threat to the global supply chain, like terrorism, cyber attack, which is recently most of the attacks are there for the warehouse, and as the other industries are so, then organized crime gangs. You can say that some of the crime these are well planned to for making the theft of the basically precious materials and other that optimistics. Right, they are not a plant, but they are just finding the area where they can utilize the opportunities for their benefits. Maybe it is right or wrong, doesn't matter for them. The for them is that they have to do for their benefit. Whatever impact on the company for this, they doesn't affect about that. Secondly, fraudulent pickups, like they plan that you have a control for the tracking systems there, but they plan still they take your truck, which is your mostly lost to you. Then manipulation of the online freight exchanges. Then bogus police stops, truck hijacking, curtain setting or parked trailers, theft from the moving vehicles, internal theft, and clandestine your intrusions. Right. So they are basically these are the requirements. They are basically they are you can say these are the threat to a organization who is in the globally supply chain. Right. And what is the basically in fact they are involved in the violence also. Violence is including your weapons, crimes, and the also that can be a threat to the innocent lives. So basically, whenever we talk about the threat to the global supply chain, it's impacting both in terms of financially as well in terms of the living things. Yeah. So if I just summarize the thing for that impact of the cargo crime, or you can say the impact of your supply chain, or you can say impact your facility security requirement, right? What is the threat to the business? Basically, is a risk to the employee and the public safety. Second is a financial cost of recovery risk. Third is your inability to fulfill customer orders. Next, damaged reputation at the brands. Reputation, disrupted production schedules, lost productivity, and increased insurance premium. As a nutshell, if you say, for example, you have to basically meeting the customer requirement, and due to any of the reason you are not meeting that customer requirement, what happened? There is a possibility you lost your customer. First part. Second part, as there is a financial loss to you. Next, if you are not fulfilling your customer demand, what next step your branding is. So as a nutshell, this is a threat to your business also. What is the economic threat? If there is a cargo crimes are there, you can say crime related to your supply chain, right? Then major companies want to avoid the crime hotspot. If a area that is dedicated is or named as there is a lot of areas are there where regular crimes are happening, their looting are happening. So what happened? Nobody company or nobody industry want to go place their plant. What happened as economics? As a as a as a state level or as a national level, there is a threat, right? So we have to be more conscious about the things also. Next, if there is an area, there is a threat to the basically cargo crime. What happened? There also impact on the employment, including your national regional investment. Next, also there is a additional pressure on the police resources. That police that can be used for the welfare of the company, welfare of the country. That can are just focusing on to how to reduce the cargo crime. If we just take a nutshell, we take the basically your loss. We take a number of losses are there. Their methods of their loss of the product, loss of the container. But in actually, it is more than 5 to 7 times the actual value of the goods stolen. Because when we talk about the loss, we're just taking the product loss. But also there are other losses are there. Your basic branding loss are there. Other losses are there which will contribute to more than the 5 to 7% times of their your stolen goods. Why? Then who's come in the picture? TAPA comes in the picture. Why? There are why the company, a unique firm is comes in the picture which unites a global manufacturer, logistic providers, freight carriers, law enforcement agencies, and other stakeholders. So for the common aim, what is the common aim? To save your cargo, save your warehouse, save your material from the basic threat, from your losses international supply chain, losses to your international supply chain also, right? So then one association comes in the picture. There is a common aim to save or to reduce the cargo crimes. That is your TAPA. Now, if I say the TAPA is a current situation, right? The TAPA has three verticals now. One is the TAPA America, TAPA EMEA, TAPA APEC. If I just come to the part of India, this comes in the TAPA APEC. So all those three members, you can say TAPA Americas, TAPA EMEA, and TAPA APEC. They basically provide your TAPA services to all the members globally. So you can say ki as a global, if I want to go for the TAPA certification, as per your regional area, you have to go. If you are in the Americas, you have to go to TAPA America. You are in the Asia or you are in India, you do the TAPA APEC for you. Now, if I just talk about the current certification level as a globe, so total as on today, total certificates are 645 in the TAPA APEC. I'm not talking about the complete globally, but I'm talking about the TAPA APEC. In the TAPA APEC, total certificates are 645. Now you can see in this there are level A, level B, level C. We'll come to that levels. What is the definition? What are the requirement of the level? But as a distribution, if we say as in the APEC, total were 461 other level A out of 645. 9 other level B and 175 other level C and the APEC. If I come to the India level, in 645, 144 are from the India, right? So it just says and considering that as a for us, we are very growing as a India. We are growing for that TAPA standards. We are going for the considering the risk to our warehousing. We are just growing for that considering the risk to our warehouse transportation. Everything means we are more focusing on the reducing the risk. We are more focusing to increasing the customer satisfaction. We are more focused to protecting our product from the theft or the other type of the losses. And in India, if I say the current situation in the certificates, total are 144, in which 116 are level A, level B is nothing, and 28 in the level C. So you can see that 144 from out of 646 are from India, right? If I just compare the levels, so in the level A, 116 are level in India, and they are compared to total overall 461 levels, A certified company. So level A will come to in the continuous slide we found what is the level A, level B, level C. Yeah. Now, what is TAPA? We already said that the TAPA is an organization which is basically they started in a common aim to reduce the basically you can say your basically theft to the warehouse, theft to the transportation, theft to the supply chain. So there are different segments are there in the TAPA. One is the FSR, for which you are just discussing today. What is the FSR? Second is the TSR, right? TSR is tracking security requirement, right? Next the PSR is your parking security requirement. Next the GSR, guarding security requirements, right? If I say the first part, your TAPA FSR. What is TAPA FSR? TAPA FSR is basically standard that define the minimum requirement to secure the warehouse or in transit storage within supply chain. There are two words are there. If we go by one, the warehousing means where you are storing the material. Secondly, in transit storage, which is also related to your warehouse, or you can say the tentative. You can say tentative, or you can say tentative storage. Yeah, temporary storage. You can say. So FSR is basically more focused on the warehousing requirement. Either it is a your fixed warehouse or it is a basic in transit storage of material during the supply chain. If I start with the what is the FSR, it's first started in the 2001. First TAPA FSR was conducted in the 2001. FSR facility or certificate is basically site specific or facility specific. If you want to go for a FSR certification, definitely you have a site or facility. If you don't have any site or facility, then how can you go for the FSR? So FSR certificate is reviewed, updated every 3 years. The latest version is 2020, and based on the current risk. There are three levels, right? FSR level B, level B, level C. Level A is the highest security protection level. B is the mid-level security protection, and C the lowest security level protection. So if I just go back to just recall you the slide is there. You find there are level A, level B, level C. So it means level is the highest security level in India. The out of 144, 116 are level A certified. Means they adopt the highest security level process, and 28 are level C. So then level and level B and C are basically audited by the TAPA approved independent audit bodies. What does it mean by that? That for the certification level, you have to be audited by the approved auditor. Approved means they had a qualified auditor, they have to given the training, they had given the exam, and then they have to qualified for the exam. And for the TAPA auditor, the qualification marks is your 80% minimum. Then only you can be the TAPA qualified auditor. Level C can also be achieved self certification by in-house TAPA trained auditor, right? So level C can be achieved by your self certification. So if you want to go for the level C, I don't want any highest level. I am happy with the my limited controls or the lowest security protection. I go for the C. That's okay. For that, you have to do the trained auditor also required, right? TAPA trained auditor, how can be? He has to attend the training program of the TAPA organized training program. He have to attend the training. He has to give he or she has to given the exam, and he or she has to qualify the exam. After that, he can be a TAPA trained auditor, right? So there you can say in the meaning there first as a summary. So FSR is there. FSR is the security for the housing transit. It is starting 2001. Site specific is there for the 3 years is valid, right? And also standard is valid for 3 years, right? There are three levels of risk are there: level A, level B, level C. Level A B are audited by the top auditors, and level C can be the self certification. Now, second is you are basically if you go by the second term, the TSR, tracking security requirement. Like if I understand the thing, for a complete supply chain, what you require first, you require the basically storage of the item. We are going to store the metal. That's come to your FSR. Second is requirement come to how you transport the metal from warehouse to the customer end. That is called your one of the ways your basically tracking security requirement, right? Means this requirement is applicable, or this standard is basically represent the minimum applicable requirement for the transportation of product via road. Obviously, if we were to use the trucking, truck can only run with the road now. So it is a transportation of product by road. You will say most of the plant theft are being on the road. They make misleading, you can miss directions to the trucking systems, and they looting the truck. So this area more focused to you be basically more focused on safeguard your basically your product with the theft through the tracking security requirements. If I just come to the word that TSR is launched in 2005, FSR is the first 2001, TSR in the second 2005. Same like FSR is reviewed and valid for the 3 year update based on the risk. Same TSR is also valid or reviewed in the 3 year based on the risk management. Right. You can see that risk word is also there. Risk is part of our life. So every standard is more focused on the risk also. Same is applicable here. When we assume that organization will implement the risk management, as the same is applicable to the societies now or the bodies we are defining the standard. They also had to work on the risk management, and on the basis of risk, they have to revise the standard. They have to update the standard. If I come into the part of level of certifications, there are three levels certifications are there. Level 1 is the highest security protection. Level 2, mid-level security protection. Level 3, lowest level of the security protection. Like if you say that in the FSR, there are three levels are there. They are level A, level B, level C. But in here, level 1, level 2, level 3. Same like FSR. Level 1, level 2, level 3 are audited by the TAPA approved independent auditor bodies. Means same process there for the approving the auditor. Level C can also be achieved by self certification. Level 3 can also be achieved with the self-certification by in-house TAPA 10 auditors. So you can symbolize the things in the FSR and the TSR. Like this is the same in the FSR. There are three levels are there. Same three levels are there. There in the FSR, A, B, C are there. In the TSR is your basically 1, 2, 3 are there. Right. In the 1, 2, 3 can be achieved with the TAPA auditors, and 3 can be achieved with the self. This is the process for that. But this is basically, if I just explain you the FSR certification process, very simple to understand and to implement also. Next level is called the PSR. We have discussed FSR, we have discussed PSR. Same is applicable to your PSR. PSR is parking security requirement. So first we have to start for the warehouse. Second, we have to use the transport by road. Now, whenever you use a transport by road, there is a possibility we have to park the vehicle now. Right? If you're taking every measures through the running, through the warehouse, through the transport system, but you're not taking care about the parking system, if you're not taking the risk of the parking, that can be risk to your product also. So next start come in the picture of PSR, is the parking security requirement. What is that? That is basically minimum applicable standard requirement. What is the minimum? Whenever we talk about a standard, what is the minimum? Means at least you have to implement the thing. You can implement more. Nobody is bounded you to implement more. But we have to, for a certificate, we have to implement minimum the requirement. More you implement, more controls you implement in the system is best for you. So coming to the PSR, PSR is basically minimum requirement for the maintaining the standards for the parking place, where you have to parking your truck, right? Then operator to join the scheme and attend TAPA certification the parking operations. So what we is required for that? First, your parking area. Secondly, the basically controlling body of that parking area, right? So it's an intention the TAPA member to select the truck parking which meet the exit TAPA certificate requirement. Now, assume basically hypothetical case that you have a label A in your FSR, you have level 1 in your TSR, but when you are transporting a material, you are not taking the which is the safe area for you for the parking. There is a risk to you also. So then you have to identify the area which is less risky to you, or you can say is more no risk is not doesn't exist in the world, less risky you can say. Then GS is your guarding security requirement. It's a minimum requirement that secure the guarding place and use the vehicle intended for the movement of the goods by road. So there are four things are there, right? As a TAPA, FSR, TSR, PSR, and the GSR. Now, coming to the main topic is the basically FSR. Why is the FSR benefit? Everything is there now. Whenever we talk, we just want to implement a system. We investing the time, we investing the money, and also we investing our the resources for any of the standard. So first thing comes in the picture, what is the benefit of this standard? First standard, you have an improved production of the high value theft from goods with effective physical security system. Means you are protecting your system, you are protecting your goods from theft, and also you are increasing the confidence of your customer in you. Second, reduction of the security threats and the liabilities. Next, increased awareness of the possible dangers. When you are doing the FSR, you have to do the risk management. When you do the risk management, you found what are the potential risks to you, and after finding the potential, you will take the action, so that you are basically increasing, awareing your possible dangers. You're taking action to that. Next, competitive advantage for the transparency and the trust. Assume there are the two service providers are there, logistic service providers are there. One is the TAPA certified, second is not TAPA certified. Obviously, the TAPA certified will get the advantage in terms of the customer. Like the same thing is in our life. If we go to the two types of, we want to buy two types of product. One is the branded, second non-branded. So what do we select? We select the branded because as a brand, they have demonstrated their brand. They demonstrate the capability. They have demonstrated your capability. They have demonstrated the capacity, and finally they have brand that trust. Then that's why we go for the brand. Same is here. If you're TAPA FSR certified company, you are just creating the branding in terms of your customer. Then obviously save cost on your insurance fees, which is due to the loss of the product. Then what is the next advantage? Reduced financial loss due to theft of the good. Initial slide, na, when we discussing about the threat or to the supply chain, we found the actual loss to a company is approx 5 to 7 times. I'm not saying the percentage, 5 to 7 times of the goods stolen. If you have goods control system for your facility for transportations, what do you do? You are reducing your financial loss. That is due to the theft of the good. Then your commitment will increase with the customer. Customers will believe on you that there will be no loss of product at the end due to your transport and the warehouse. You have good process controls. You have improvement in the process system and the control. And also, obviously, there is a demand of the TAPA FSR certificates in the market. Any company, they just TAPA certificate, they give as to you, they are advanced to you. Even some of the requirement, the customer, they are asking if your TAPA FSR certificate, we will give you direct order. To the market, because they believe on that TAPA FSR or TAPA TSR. So this is the thing that you will get a benefit from the TAPA FSR. As a overall, if you say, if you calculate the ROI of the standard, it is much high, and you are very happy if you implement the system, you're getting the benefit of the standard, right? It is a cost, initial cost can be less, but your investment, after investment, what you get is very high. So who's applicable to TAPA? Obvious enough is when we talk about the standard, so there definitely there will be some applicable there. Who can be interested party for this standard is a buyer, right? Buyer is your buyer come to you that your facility should be FSR certified, level A, level B, level C, or TSR certified. Secondly, law enforcement of the government organization. Second, professional supply chain organization, they are interested in the TAPA. Insurers and the LSP or the applicants. What is the LSP? LSP is the logistics service providers. Like if I just take the example of India, total number of certification, Amazon is one of that, Flipkart is one of that, right? So they are also taking this advantage of this standard. So who can go for it? What is the buyer logistics service provider? Second, all the storage, the handling location within the global supply chain. Maybe this location can be owned by the customer or owned by the service provider, right? So location is your or not your, but you are working on the location, you are responsible for the location, or the buyer is responsible for that, but that can go for the TAPA FSR. Now implementation. If talk about the implementation, the successful implementation is a requirement. This implementation depends on the LSP, logistics service providers and applicants, buyers, and the TAPA authorized auditor working together. And why these things are there? First of all, the requirement generation or the belief in the standard is done by the your customer or the buyer, right? Owner of the cargo. Second is the logistics service providers or the applicant. Third, who is assessing the system. All three has together to work for the benefit of the company, for the improvement of the process, or reducing the loss to the company as a system certification. So FSR is a global standard, right? So all the sections of the standard are mandatory. Like when you go for the system implementations, you go for that. So you have to thought that all the standards are applicable, all the requirements are applicable. If you want to go, you have to go for there is official waiver process. So you have to go for the official waiver process. If you don't want to implement requirement, but there is a systematic or you can say proper justification, unless if it is not approved by the TAPA FSR body, it is mandatory, right? If it is approved, then you can say that in the during the audit is a waiver is there, right? So we'll not implement this requirement. But if there is no waiver, so by default 100% requirement of the standard is applicable to you. Now there are different type of the certifications are there, right? One is a single site certification, second is a multi-site certification, third is a self audit certification. If you recall the things when we discussing about the level A, level B, level C, so in that case TAPA FSR we read that the level A, level B, level C can be given by the certification body when assessment by the independent auditors, but level C can be achieved by the self regulation but by the authorized auditors or the qualified auditors. So if we go by the self certification, so it's a independent audit body is required. We can say third party body is required who is approved by the TAPA. Now question comes in the mind, how can I go, I come to know that a body is approved or not by the TAPA. So there is a TAPA APEC website is there. You can go, you can find the authorized bodies who is basically approved for the TAPA FSR. Second case, in the TAPA FSR, TAPA APEC, you also found the how many companies are certified. If you are certified there, you can find your name is there. So means all things are in the line, in a systematic way is there. Second, the multi-site certification by the IAB. Third, the self-audit. If I discuss for the IAB, it was applicable single site, multi site, but self-audit is only applicable to self-certificate with label C, right? But in the IAB, you can go A, B, C, all the labels are there. Now, coming to the question, what is the level A, level B, level C? Level is the highest level security. Level B, the moderate security level. Level C, the standard security level. Now, questions come, how can we go, what is the level highest level, what is the moderate level? So, in the TAPA FSR standard 2020, there is an audit, there is basically requirement checklist is there. Or you can say the requirements are there. In the against the requirement, there is a column is there, level A, level B, level C. So you can see there which is applicable to level A, which is applicable to level B, which is applicable to level C. Accordingly, you have to implement the system. If you want to go for the highest level, so you have to implement all the requirement which is basically crossing against the or the checking or requirement against the level A. So this is in the part of FSR standard is clearly mentioned for the highest level what need to implement, or you can say what need to be audited. If I know what need to be audited, I know what need to implement, because both things are the synonyms in the different way. One times you have to implement the thing, and one times you have to be just audit the thing. I just generally say the things that for to become a good auditor, you become a good implementer. Same thing is there. Is applicable. You have to know the requirement to implement. The classification level is again determine the risk assessment of the facility. Second, that comes in the ABC questionnaires. Second, also defined by the customer. For example, if your customer say, okay, I'm happy with the level C, then okay, no problem is that. And second, if your customer say, no, I just want the level A, so you have to go for the A. But another things come in the picture that what level you want. As a branding, what level you want to declare in the globe that I'm level A, level B, level C. So what is your organization requirement? Same is input to your level security level definition. Second, your customer requirement is input to the level definition. So we discussed the FSR, the three types are there. Basically single site, multi-site, or the self-certification. So first we discuss about the self-site certification. When we say the single site certification, single site is indicated same name, it is applicable to one site. Maybe you have the 10 site are there, but you want no, I don't want the multi-site, I want each site to be individually certified. So each site is individually means a single site certificate means one certificate for one site. So in the when you go for the single site certification, your applicable standard levels are level A, level B, or level C. Who perform the audit? Authorized auditor. Who perform the audit? From on the behalf of your approved certification body. Right? How do you find the certification body? I explained that on the TAPA APEC you found. Who is the authorized certification body? You can audit. The certificate issued is valid for 3 years. Like the standards is 3 years is applicable. Like so, the organization depend who want a single site or multi-site. Who want it specific? Okay, I have the 10 site, but first I want to this X site for first level. So you can go for single site. Management is no, I just want all the 10 sites will separately be certified. So 10 site will be there. It's completely depend on the management and also depend on the customer agreement. So in that case, you have a each certificate issued for the each site. Second, your multi-site. Obviously, multi-site means more than 3 in the TAPA FSR. So now question comes. Sir, I have the 2 sites. Can I go for the multi-site? No. As per the TAPA standard, for the FSR in the multi-site certification, there must be minimum 3 sites. There must be minimum 3 or more sites, right? So you can apply for the multi-site certification. You have more number of locations, more than 3. You can go for multi-site, right? So in that case, there is single security management system will implement. Multi-site means you have a different site, but controlled will be centralized. Means you have a centralized single security management system. If you say that all the sites are doing their business own, their own system, there is no linkage with the one of the center site. It is not multi-site. It then all site become the single site. So first requirement for the multi-site certification is there more than 3 sites, and they have the single security management system. And this security management system is basically linking the central site to all the sites. Means all site has a function, has a relation to the central site or even the central function. Central function can be your head office or cannot be. It doesn't matter. That my head office is always central function. Doesn't matter. You define who is controlling or who is define the security system management for all the sites. It's called a central function. Now coming to the but all the sites are listed in the certificate. If you have a 20 number of site and you are going for the multi-site certification, so all the 20 sites will be part of your certificate, but certificate will be single. There will be no 20 number of certificate. Certificate will be single certificate of the central function with the, including the 20 number of sites is there in the single certificate, because your single security management system, so single site certificate for that. Like, but there is a relation is there. There is legal relationship be there or context relationship be there. Obvious, na? I'm saying these all the 20 sites are related to each other. So there must be legal relations are there. Na? Then only I can say there's the part of same group, part of same family, or the part of same certification structure. So for that multi, there is continuous surveillance and internal audits are there. Now, what is the in the last year we use the word central function. What is central function? This is central function can be or cannot be. Can be or cannot be the headquarter. Right? It's not always my I have a headquarter with the central function. No. But important is that central function must have the single security management system and have a control on the security management system. That two things, right? Is accountable for the single security management system. Right? Is a responsible single security management system. If as a auditor found there are different security management systems are there, right? And they had no linkage with the central site, then this not comes under single multi-site, single site, right? So as the person has a responsibility that all sites are linked with the CSR, central function with the according to FSS standard, right? Also, the central function has the right to issue corrective and preventive actions. Although the central audit will be there, or central assessment will be there for all the sites. Also, there is document formal agreement, right? If I am saying that all the sites are linked with the central function with some legally or contextual, obviously some document is there, some agreement is there, right? Without agreement or policy, how can I believe that all sites are linked contextually with the central site? So with the this we have to define the central function with the central function with the responsibility of the central function and how they are linking with the central function with the other side with the single security management system. Now, second, what is the benefit of that? When we say the multi-sites, so there is sampling will be there, right? So for example, you have 20 number of sites there, so 20 audits will be there because you have 20 certificate. But same if you incorporate a 20 site in the single multi-site, so what will you audit there? 10% of the CF. First year, 10% of the CF. Total price the second, 10% plus CF, the next. So your central function. So if a 20 sites are there, so 2 plus center function, 2 plus center function, 2 plus center. So total 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 audit will be there for the year. Otherwise, 20 plus 20 plus 20 audits will be there, right? So it's like that. So this is the benefit of that, but controlling is also required for that. So all the sites are basically audited physically. There is no remote audit is allowed. If you say for the TAPA FSR, as a single site or multi, it doesn't matter. But you say, okay, so we want to audit by the remote, not allowed. All audits are the on-site or the physical audits for that. Right. Now question comes about the multi-site. Okay, I have a multi-site certificate and the certificate audit done. Can I include the new sites? Yes, it's possible. You can include the any new site during the surveillance audit first and second. Right. Also, there is a possibility you can remove the site. For example, at the time of the certification, you have 20 sites. but now due to any circumstances you have to we close the site one. Right now only 19 sites are there, so you can remove, or you can say okay, I don't for this I don't want the certificate for the TAPA app, sir, I want to remove this. Okay, you can remove, doesn't matter, but you have to inform to the certification body prior in the advance that I want to add this site or I want to move this site, because only now then he can then CB can understand that you want to add or remove. Otherwise, if the person come to for audit, you say no, sir, I want to add. How is possible? How can plan the audits now? Immediately, does it possible everything, right? Ad hoc things are not good and not allowed by the system also. Secondly, also you have initially when you start the system, you have 20 sites, and you go for the 20 different individual certificates. Now, as per the management decision, you want to the multi-site. I don't want 20 site audit every year. So you want to the multi-site, that's okay. So you can transit from the single site to multi-site also. So all things are possible. System is very flexible in terms of the organization for the addition of the requirement, addition of the site, removal of the site on the transfer from the single to site to multi-site. Now, next level is your self-certification level, right? So we have discussed till now. First level is your basically your highest level was level A. Single site is equal to level A, level B, level C. Multi-site level A, level B, level C. But still the self-certification. In the self-certification, there is no audit by the certification body is required. Means you have to the self-evaluation. You have to complete a self-audit checklist. You have to submit the self-audit checklist to TAPA FSR. They review and provide your level C certificate. But audit must be conducted by the approved auditor. Now points come, for example, I don't have the approved auditor in house, but you can take the help of the certification body for that. Their auditor will come to you, they will audit for your process as a part of level C, right? Is there. Secondly, who's the aim is the authorized auditor. You can be internal employees, associates, trained person, but the point is that they must be qualified in the standard and is authorized by the TAPA. I already explained about the process about the auditor qualification, that you have to attend the training, you have to pass the exam, and after successful completion of the exam, you will be an authorized auditor, right? And then you have the complete audit form to be submitted to TAPA FSR for the level C certification, right? But importantly, level C is only for a site specific, only for a site specific. You can say I have a 10 site, I just want to multi-site in the level C. Not possible, not allowed. One site, one go for self-certification with the level C. Now, compliance. If I just talk about the audit and the compliance monitoring, right? So, as we explained that the certificate is valid for 3 years, right? In the first year, there is audit by the auditor for the single site. The annually first and second surveillance audit, you have to do the basically self audits as an organization. The single site, they have to do the self audit, or they can take the help of the auditor from the certification body and the submit to the TAPA SR for the basically continuous of the certificate, right? And self single site certification is the applicable level A, level B, level C. So coming to the multi-site certification body, again, multi-site is applicable to your 3 years also. But in the multi-site, every year audit will be there. Your center function plus 10% of your site since, right? You say the last, you say that there is sampling is there, 10% plus CF, 10% plus CF in the second audit, first and third audit. It's like that, but audit is there, right? Also, there is self audit is required for all the sites, right? So, what is the process for the multi-site? First, in the year, you have to do the self audit for all the sites. Then auditor comes, he will audit central function plus 10% of the site, and this also repeat in the second and third year, right? And the self study is only by the company who don't want to go for A and B, who don't go for the audit by the body. They want a self evaluation, so they can give for the self certificate. But in that case, they only we claim for the level C. By self certificate, you can't claim for the level ND. Now, FSR assessment. Obviously, till now we understand the things. What is the FSR? So the FSR assessment areas are your basically one is the parameter security. Second, your access controls. Third, your facility dock or warehouse. Fourth is your security systems. Fifth is your basically your security procedures. Sixth is your standard truck security. Seven, the pre-alert, and eight, the enhanced security requirement. So these are the areas on which the assessment will be done. Now, same thing is there. Also, you have to implement the same areas for the assessment. Now, as an organization, you have to implement the things same. So auditor will evaluate for the same. So the good thing in this standard is there. You and auditor both at the same area or the same phase for the auditing a process. So there is no different question can be asked. The same question within the assessment sheets are there. That can give us, and you also have the requirement to implement. So both will be at the same phase for the implementation and with the assessment of the part. If I just take an example for the parameter security, right? What is the requirement for the parameter security? Is include your warehouse external cargo handling. Perimeter is your outer body, outer area. So what is include? Your warehouse external cargo handling, your shipping and receiving yards, right? So you have to take care for the perimeter security with your external cargo handling, the shipping and receiving yard. But how do you can control? You have to define a procedure for that, and you have to define the control system also there. Like CCTV areas also there, like, and also the risk management for that. Right. Just take an example that there is a requirement for the ground level accessible windows. It's only applicable to level A. If you want to go for the level B and C, its requirement is not applicable. For the ground level accessible windows for doors for the risk management. Another area for the pyramid is your physical barriers. When when a warehouse you enter, there is physical barriers are there. Their controlling systems are there for that, right? These physical barriers which basically control your cargo handling, shipping, and the receiving yards. The next is your basic parameter security, right? You have to integrate the system. You have to basically review or the control the assessment of the physical as a parameter, right? Then if you was a second area besides go for the outer walls are there, outer walls are there. There is a controls in the parameter sections, right? If I say next is if I go for that your dock doors are there that to be controlled during the operations. What is your control for the dock doors? What is the control your dock doors of the non-operations hours? That to be more focusly to there, more focus for there, right? And also we have the access control for the offices, how a person are entering in the office areas, right? What is the control for that? How you are controlling that who's person entry, who's going to the living? The I-card system is there, proper CCTV controls are there for that, and your proper register or you can document, you can control that person who is entering, how much time is there, where he's going. It's a part of your access control, right? Also the where the persons are entering, right? Obviously your company person also the supply persons or logistic persons are coming. What is the control for that? What are security systems you are using for that, right? CCTV there, alarms are there, right? What is the procedure for there? For example, if a cargo comes to your premises, what are the controls, entry of their basically ID checking of the driver, and generally when we are asking for the ID checking, it's a should must be photo ID with the government approved, not like any local ID. This ID checking must be, you have to verify that this photo ID with a government approved will be there, right? In India, you can say Aadhaar card, you can say PAN card, you can say driver license, but should be photo government ID is applicable, right? So you have to define the. Secondly, when you go to the inside, what is the warehouse control for that, right? Who is allowed to enter the warehouse? Who is not allowed to enter the warehouse? If a person who is just forcefully trying to enter the warehouse, what is the control for that? What are security system? Alarming systems are there, CCTV systems are there, right? Monitoring systems are there. They're more important for that, right? Then what is the requirement for your truck security? There are requirement the whether the seals you are providing for a truck. What is the control? They must not be damaged. Then the locks must not be easily accessible. Must not be damaged. There are single control systems are there. Keys are very more important, right? Whenever we talk about a warehouse, those keys are very important, and there should must be a keys plan for that. Who is the authorized person who taking the key? Who is the authorized person to open the doors? Like that, everything, right? As a warehouse, what you can think in terms of security, or what you can think in terms of your saving your product? That is a part of the security system. Alerts are there. The announced security systems are there. That is followed for that, right? In a nutshell, if I say, What is the key point? What is the perimeter security? Means outside perimeter. Your entry, warehousing, cargo, incoming, outgoing, yards. Also, this is the outer area na, where you need to control. Then outside walls, roofs and the door control. Right. You have to define the height of a walls. You are using the fencing of the warehouse so that external person cannot enter. If you try to enter, you have a detection control systems are there. Second, you have to define the control for the office entries in the warehouse entry and exit points. Right? Their proper defined system are there, and their proper CCTV controls are there. When a person entering in the area, there must be entry will be there. Who is going to enter? So that you have a proper control on the system. Then inside warehouse, what is your controls are there? If you are using the metal movement instruments, how they control, if the person is allowed to enter that area or not, and how your monitoring system is there. Thus, if you are implementing a CCTV, how they are monitoring, their real-time monitoring are there, how many percentage area is covered in the warehouse. And these things are there that they are basically point for that. When we talk about the cargo, your tracking is on how they're handling the equipment containers. There are 7 point inspection points are there. There are sidewall, roof, top, different points are there for the inspection. They are verified that your cargo is suitable for the transportation of the material, is safe for the transport, is not a damaged or is not a risk to the product. Then high value case. High value case is the means using the precision item, costly items. So there are controls are there. Nobody can enter about the access control. They are well defined. The SCV entry, exit point, metal storage, all are 100% control on the CCTV, right? And the cameras not are basically daylight cameras are there. Their real time mountings are there. Many controls are there that to be implemented for the things are there, right? Also security system design, automatic access control system you are providing to ensure that you to whom you authorize can only be enter the premises. Nobody other person can use their IDs or that CCTV control, the workforce integrity control. They are the key focus areas. They are more important as a generic for that you have to implement the system. In a nutshell, if you are just triple uh, talk about the warehouse control. These are the basic things. When you are doing, first focus is your risk management. How to control the risk of your product. Where risk start? Risk can be start from outside to inside or inside to outside. So we start from the outside. How can I control my product from the outside entry, unauthorized entry, right? Forced entry. Then if it is there, then how get the control to inside there? So that is a complete system. What is your monitoring system, right? How the CCTVs are installed? What are the area they are covering? Although they are covering 100% area, or they are covering on the key areas, they are daylight mode. They are working only. They are working the day mode. There are different things are there as a national thing for your safety of the product, right? Because high cost product are there is a huge loss, and we discussed huge loss is not a product loss. It's a 5 to 7 times minimum, more than that for the loss of the product. We just talk about the requirement. We talk about the standards, right? Now, how to secure? Obviously, nothing is there. So there is a guideline. You can say there is a terminology there. OBEM, OPEM. OEBM is basically required the actions to secure. What is the meaning of O? Is the organizations. What are the policy and processes you are defined? How you control as a procedure or guideline the entry of the persons, entry of the vehicles, how you are controlling the things so that any unwanted things cannot be happened. Then building, how you are controlling the product from the outside, high walls, roof, fencing, hinges, locks. Basically, you are providing of the control of the building. Then after that, your electronicals, your intrusion detections, access controls, CCTV. Next one is a management. Means the security statement, responsible person for the security, their control mechanism. You ensure that the person you are hiring for the security has a good, or you can say has a clear basis the crime. They don't have any crime in the past. They don't have any criminal history. They are very good. Proper verification is there as a part of management. The person who is hiring for the security, right? There is no chance of that the security interchange. Then an unknown person can join without a proper verification. These things are there that a part of OPM. If I nutshell just take the OPM is like it's an extended version there. You know on any principle all we have the different layers. Layer one cut, then layer two come. Layer two comes there. It's the same is principle is applicable to security, right? But there first is the data, right? How you can data? You have data the point by the fencing of the barrier, right? Then detect. After if a person that cross the data, then he has to detect by the electronic system, CCTV, alarming, motion detection. There are many technologies are there now. That is a full form for an organization to say. After that detection, there is a come the delay, right? So that you can have a time to take some actions. Like how can delay? By the walls, roof, doors, window. If you are defining a wall, a thin wall you are defining, so that anyone can destroy now. So you have to the thick wall is required. If anyone want to basically cross that wall, it will take time to cross that, right? Then you respond an alarm system, connect to the monitoring system. Another thing is just cross, there is alarm is there. And is alarm to be there in the respected areas where action can be taken, right? And this alarm system easily be, right, audible to the respective persons. If you just assign alarm and the happening is going, negative happening is going, alarm is going on, blowing, but it's not audible to the respective person. What is the benefit of that? It's just blowing. So, so this is more important. Then your case value for high product security, highly security areas, highly lock and see system, password protections, electronic control. There are different systems are there that is using for that high security, right? So these are the things for that you can basically secure your warehouse. For that, there's only principle, right? Now, finally the thing is that the what is the TAPA audit and certification, right? You have implement the things, you understand the thing now. Part of there, finally, always appreciation. How can be appreciation? By a certificate, right? How can be a certificate? So TAPA certificate is basically valid for the 3 years, right? So what is the process for that? First of all, you have to be registered on the TAPA website and get a qualified internal auditor for the TAPA, right? So because when you go for the certificate process, before that you have to do the self evaluation, you have to do self audit, right, by the approved auditor. So at least one auditor are required, at least one auditor are required for that uh, internal auditor. Second, then a tracking code application. So this tracking code application to the TAPA is by the DQS, right? You have to fill a form, then you have to share the form to me. I will share, or my team will share their form to the DQS HK, and they will provide a TAPA for the tracking code. This is a code for your complete application. This is unique code for that. Then after this, you have to go for the audit. So auditor will come to your premises. They have audit as per the standard requirement, which you already have. I am not saying that that's I'm saying which you already have. So as per that standard, the auditor will assess your process. Right. So, what is the finding of a audit? Generally, compliance or the non-compliance. Compliance is okay. If non-compliance are there, then you have to do the systematic root cause correction, corrective action. You have to submit to the auditor with the evidence of the photographs, videos, and auditor will review and the close the finding. After this finding, the auditor will submit the report to the TAPA FSR. They review and they will issue a certificate to you, which is the valid. Next, as per the standard, it's a single site or multi-site, right? The self-collision or the audit will be there, right? Then annual monitoring by the supply, the self audit is there. This is the offsite, right? Then registered audit after the 3 months, around the 3 months before the certificate expires. So certificate is valid for 3 years. So, but your next final certificate is 3 years minus 3 months. Why? Right? Because your certificate is valid for 3 years, and if you are not planned or executed the audit, and their NCs are there, they are not timely closed. What happened? Certificate will expire. Again, you have to start from the scratch. They to conduct to understand that risk. What we do, we will evaluate. We conduct the audit 3 months in advance so that we have sufficient time for the closure of non-conformities or the corrective actions if any there are there. Right. So now, why DPS? Right. We have discussed everything. What is a TAPA FSR? Why it is required? What is the benefit of the TAPA? What is the standard requirement for the TAPA? Then why DQS? DQS is basically experience certificate body. It has more than 35 years of the system certification, right? Right. And if we have the auditor with the industry experience approved by the TAPA, I'm also the same qualified auditor for the TAPA, right? So we have our certificate is worldwide valid, the single source which you can load in the complete globe, and the certificate is the international acceptance. That it is general matter. You are, if you are doing the TAPA FSR, TAPA America will not accept or not. Yes, they will accept. So what are the audit we done? It is accepted in the globe, right? Also, when we conduct the audit by the DQs, we just not only finding the that this is a requirement. We also just suggest we are this is valued added activity will suggest, right? Because we are more focusing on the improvement of the system through the auditing, right? Because ultimately, right, we improvement your system is a input your customer on the behalf of your customer. Customer believe us now as a TQ as a setting body. We are doing good job. She also just suggests and should ensure that customer will be happy. Right. Also, we have the available auditors there. Right. Also, our auditors are flexible context fees are there. When we do, there is no hidden cost. But in the part of content will be there. There will be no extra cost. At the time of it, there is nothing extra will be there. Whatever discussed will be there. Right. It's flexible and it's a very transparent systems are there. What we do. Yeah. So finally, thank you from my side. I think we complete this thing. So I just hand over to Mantes. He just check any questions are there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. I would request all, if you have any doubts or clarification, please write down under your chat box. We will address your question.
Just add to the statement of Mr. Mayantes. This is the
Yes.
platform is there where you can raise the questions, but also you can see there are mail IDs there, mobile number is there. So in future also you have any questions, any doubt, you can write to us, and we are happy to resolve them the queries.
Yes. In after 1 hour, you all will receive a feedback form. Maybe you can reply to that mail ID also. I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
How to become a TAPA auditor?
So for TAPA auditor, first of all, there is a TAPA website. TAPA APEC website is there. There you have to do the registration, and as per plan, they are conducting the trainings. Generally, the TAPA FSR training is for the 2 days, right? In that case, you have to attend the training, right? And after the attending, there is exam is there, right? Most of this training FSR is the online training, and after successful completion of this exam, you will be a authorized auditor for TAPA. And the passing marks for that is 80%, and you will get a 3 chance to attempting the questions are there.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I will share the link, Mr. Harish. Yeah, I request all, if you have any doubts or clarification, please write down under your chat box. We will address your questions.
Also, sometimes the questions comes the find where how can I get the TAPA FSR requirements? Also, in the TAPA EPIC website is there. There tabs are there. FSR there is standard is also available. That video, of course, you can download from here. Right? You can download TAPA FSR standard and understand the requirement of level A, level B, level C.
Hmm.
I just say because it's very transparent things are there, right? So you can go there, you can do download the standard, you can read, you can implement, you can improve your process for that.
Okay, sir. I think there is no more questions now. I think we can end the session.
Okay,
Thank you so much for joining the webinar. Sorry, sir. We have one more question.
please.
When the risk assessment is performed for asserting the level of certification A, B, or C before TAPA auditing or during TAPA audit?
That's a before. Basically, the thing is that you have to start the implementation, right? Right, entire the implementation of the system. Then you have to assess the risk for your organization. Is a high risky, low risky means accordingly which standard you want, right? So it's a part basically because this is the starting point of a company to the risk assessment for the standard certifications, right? As per the risk, you identify that okay, I organization don't much have the high risk, right? All things are well going. The thingly highly area that with consider low risk items are there. Okay, I can go for level C. That's okay. But you realize now my products are very highly costly. Also, the transport system is a risk to us. Warehousing is also risk to us. Where I have a warehouse, it is also a risky area. So I want to go for the level A. So it is a start and point for the implementation, for the certification and also the implementation. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Uh, okay. I think we are done with the session, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much
So
for joining. After 1 hour, you all will get a feedback form. Please fill the form, and if you have any doubts or clarification, please reply to that mail. Thank you. Thank you, Yasin sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you, team. Just again, best wishes. And whenever you doubt, we are there for you as a family for the process improvement, system improvement, and resolving the concern. Thank you. Take care. Best wishes from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.